All right, as you get ready to start your careers, you're going to face countless critical decisions. For generations, leaders pretty much had to rely on their gut feelings. But today, you have a much more powerful tool at your disposal: data. So we're going to dive into what's called data-driven decision-making, a shift that is literally reshaping every single industry on the planet.
So let's just start with a really fundamental question. When you're faced with a high-stakes choice, what do you trust more? Is it your intuition, that gut feeling we all get? Or do you need the cold, hard facts? This, right here, is the central conflict that modern businesses are wrestling with every single day.
And this slide, well, it lays out those two paths perfectly. On one side, you've got intuition. It's subjective, it's personal, and let's be honest, it's dangerously prone to all of our own hidden biases. The other path, on the right, is data-driven decision-making, or DDM for short. It's an approach that's built on objective, solid evidence, and it's designed to give you way more confidence in the choices you make. Now, you might be asking, why is this such a huge deal right now? Well, the scale is just mind-blowing. Every single day, we create over 400 million terabytes of new data across the globe. I mean, that's a number that's kind of hard to even wrap your head around. To ignore this resource isn't just a missed opportunity anymore, it's a massive strategic risk. Okay, so we have this ocean of data. How in the world do you actually make sense of it all? Well, you need a framework. And I love this analogy. Think of it like moving from just looking in the rearview mirror, only seeing what's already happened, to using a really sophisticated GPS that actually helps you navigate the road ahead. This journey to real insight happens in 4 pretty clear stages. First, you start with descriptive analytics, which simply asks, okay, what happened? Then you dig a little deeper with diagnostic, asking, all right, why did that happen? From there, you start looking forward with predictive analytics, which asks, so what's likely to happen next? And finally, you get to the most powerful stage of all, prescriptive analytics, which tells us, so what should we do about it? How should we act? This table really breaks down how each pillar builds on the last one to create real strategic value. Descriptive gives you your baseline, your starting point. Diagnostic helps you find and fix problems. Predictive, that lets you get ahead of the curve, to see market shifts before they happen. And prescriptive, that's the top of the pyramid. It actually helps you optimize all your resources and automate the best possible response. It's a ladder that takes you from being reactive to being proactive.
All right, theory is one thing, but what does this actually look like out in the wild? Let's jump into some real-world examples of how these analytical pillars are completely transforming the core functions of a business.
So, let's talk strategic planning. Data can reveal some amazing opportunities. Think about a huge global coffee brand. They don't just use map data to find busy intersections. No, they layer on commuter data to figure out if a spot needs a drive-through for the morning rush or if it needs more comfy seating for people who hang out in the afternoon. This level of insight means they're not just building stores, they're building the right stores for each specific place, and that maximizes every dollar they invest. And what about operations? You see these massive boosts from correlations you would never ever guess. There's a famous retail example that found that right before a hurricane, sales of batteries and water go up, obviously, but you know what else skyrockets? Strawberry Pop-Tarts. Seriously, it's a totally counterintuitive insight that no gut feeling would ever uncover. By stocking up on those specific items, they not only make more money, but they also provide a little comfort to anxious customers, and that builds incredible brand loyalty.
And when it comes to the customer, oh man, data gets really personal. Way deeper than you think. Streaming services don't just recommend what you should watch next. They analyze data to find what they call gateway shows. You know, the first series a new viewer gets hooked on that strongly predicts they'll stay a subscriber for years. The whole business model then shifts to getting new users to watch that one specific show. It drastically cuts down on churn and locks in long-term revenue. Pretty smart, right?
Okay, so this all sounds amazing, but let's be real. Making this shift is not a walk in the park. It's not just about buying some fancy new software. Organizations face some pretty significant hurdles when they try to build a truly data-driven culture.
And the challenges really fall into 2 main camps. On one side, you've got the people problems, a natural resistance to change, people fearing their jobs will be replaced, and a lot of the time, a total lack of a clear strategy. Then you've got the tech hurdles, things like poor data quality, data that's stuck in a bunch of different systems that don't talk to each other, and old clunky technology that just can't keep up.
And you know what? I really want to pause here for a second because this point is absolutely crucial. All the fancy algorithms and machine learning models in the world are completely useless if the data you're feeding them is garbage. Poor data quality is, without a doubt, the single greatest threat to everything we've been talking about. It's the old saying, garbage in, garbage out.
So what's the solution? How do you fix that? You do it with a formal data quality framework. And look, this isn't a nice to have, it's non-negotiable. It stands on 3 pillars. First, utility. Is the data even useful? Is it timely? And can people get to it? Second, objectivity. Is it accurate? Is it reliable? Is it unbiased? And third, integrity. Is it secure and does it protect people's privacy? You have to have all 3 for your data to be worth anything at all.
All right, let's circle all of this back to you. As future leaders and managers, what does all of this mean for your career? What are the skills you're going to need to not just survive, but to really thrive in this new data economy?
To be a leader today, you absolutely need a hybrid skill set. Yeah, of course, you need the hard skills, like being competent with AI and digitally fluent. But just as important, maybe even more so, are the soft skills. We're talking high emotional intelligence, the ability to manage change, great communication, and resilience. And why is that? Because you're not just managing data, you're leading people through a huge and sometimes scary transformation. Data alone can't do that.
So what does a winning roadmap look like for any company trying to do this right? Well, it follows 4 key steps. Number 1, figure out your goals before you even think about collecting data. Number 2, mandate strong data governance. That quality framework we talked about is non-negotiable. 3, build that hybrid workforce by investing in both the tech and the people. And finally, number 4, create a culture of constant improvement, a feedback loop where you're always monitoring and getting better.
At the end of the day, data analytics gives you this incredibly detailed, powerful map of the world. But a map is just a tool. It doesn't tell you where to go. So the final question, the one for you to think about is this. With this map in your hands, how are you going to chart the course?